back, everybody, to the Exit Row. I'm your host, Adama Anderson, here with the one, the only Justin Moore.
That's right. That's correct.
And Paige Larson.
Hey, guys.
What's up, guys?
Welcome back. Welcome back.
We are a little delayed in this week's episode, but it's okay.
Things happen.
Yeah, things
We
all
happen.
good.
The
Life
the
happens.
true ones out there will wait for us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right.
And thank you. We appreciate it.
Quality over quantity.
And if they don't, they'll come back. They'll be back.
Exactly.
Welcome back, yeah.
They'll come to their senses.
So let's go ahead and just get the big news out of the way. Well, not the big news. Let's go ahead and just talk about my trip.
Sure, let's talk about you again.
Let's talk about me
I know.
again. You know, by the way, I want to talk about the Red Way. No, I'm just kidding. Just had to drop it. Drop it. All right.
You know,
Hey,
you know.
So for those who didn't know, or you did listen to the previous podcast, I did take a solar eclipse flight
Really?
with Southwest Airlines.
No way.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. Yeah.
Talk about it.
First off, let's go ahead and talk about getting to the St. Louis airport. So I flew from Omaha to Chicago, and then Chicago down to St. Louis. I spent 2 days out in Chicago or St. Louis. Went out to go check out some sports. So the Cardinals checked
Yeah,
out.
you covered some good ground in St. Louis, I will say. Yeah, well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Sure.
St. Louis FC or whatever the MLS team is there, because I'm a huge soccer fan. So went ahead and checked out some soccer there as well. And I ended up at the airport in St. Louis to go take one of the solar eclipse flights. That
Go to
was
the
out there.
moon.
I don't have one. I was looking for a drop here.
The airport to go to the moon.
To go to the moon. So yes, and I just showed you guys video from the flight. It was pretty cool. Anyways,
Non-potato.
I get to St. Louis,
Yes.
the airport. I get to Terminal 2. That's where all the Southwest Airlines flights fly out of, and Lufthansa. Like those are the only two
obviously.
airlines that are
So
there.
strange.
Makes
I mean, obviously, right?
plenty of sense, right? Also, if you do have clear, like myself, they have a clear TSA pre-check line and then a clear non-TSA pre-check line.
I don't think I've seen that before.
Yeah, I ended up in the clear non-TSA pre-check line. Like, you can go through and take everything off and, get a pat down and all that.
You do like those, though.
I do.
You're right.
I love when I get the quad S on my boarding pass. So extra.
It's like, oh,
So I was like, fine, I'll just go through. I'm not because the TSA pre-check is like a different. Like it's just weird.
They're not
Like,
lines
they
next to
have
each
their
other.
own their own little
some
area.
airports, I do find that odd. Like, it is weird.
Like
Yeah.
just put it all together. Let me get in the line. But it's a very short security area, so it kind of makes sense how they did it, I guess. But anyways, so I go to St. Louis, and I get to my gate. My gate was literally, I think it was gate 14, which is immediately through the TSA gates. It was right there, so I knew exactly where my flight was going to be. St. Louis, they decided the St. Louis promotion or city promotion, whatever, they handed out some of these
Oh, wow.
glasses here, the solar eclipse glasses. So
Oh, those are even better, actually.
got a little souvenir.
These are better.
So let's talk about getting there. They made it a big fanfare. They had hula hoops. They had, people were doing like, all sorts of things. They had, Southwest. We've been on an inaugural with Southwest, so we know that they actually like to do things.
They're extra.
Yeah, they like to get a little extra. Justin here is putting on the glasses, or the solar eclipse glasses. Can you see us? You're like John Cena?
Right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't see me? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Clear as mud, right?
Looking right at my feet.
So they work. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. So it was pretty extra. Like, obviously,
In a good way?
It was a good way. Yeah. A lot of media was out there, so we had some media that was there. Thankfully, they didn't interview me because I wouldn't want to be interviewed. I get interviewed by you two here, so I'm just like,
That's true. That's true.
This is your media session here.
this is it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need any more. So we get into the whole boarding process. So I myself, knowing that I wanted a window seat like everybody else does, I actually opted to pay the little extra that you pay to get like the premier status or whatever it is. Paige, do you know?
Did you do
Or token.
A-list 1 through 15? Or did
A-list
you...
1 through 15.
Yes, there's that or early bird check-in.
Okay.
That was Paige, our resident Southwest spokeswoman.
Yes. And people know that you love Southwest.
Oh, yeah.
Including
I know.
my friend Aaron, who's listening. He knows too. He asked me last week. He's like, Paige really loves Southwest. I'm like,
I'll put that Paige
yes.
chick in Southwest.
So-
They sent me a poster for my birthday. I mean, come on now.
Come on, right?
Oh, really? We never talked about that.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
messed it up a little bit,
By the way,
but
that segment went over very well.
Good.
Yeah.
So I decided to pay for that status, a 1 through 15,
Because, I mean, you always want a window seat, but you wanted...
I
to
guarantee
yourself.
because I don't expect that. I expected everybody to get the early bird check-in.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I'm definitely going to pay for it. So I did, and I got my number. It was A11, which I did get the boarding pass, printed boarding pass, because this is
Shout out Randall.
a one-time thing, and I absolutely.
So
Yeah.
A11, you think you're sitting pretty.
Absolutely. You think you are.
You would think so.
So they get the aircraft arrives. We all board the aircraft. Well, first off, let's talk about they started the boarding process. They let everybody who was in what's it called the
Pre-board?
pre-board. There we go.
Yeah.
Everybody that was in pre-board, which was a little different. Everybody was pre-boarded.
Everyone but you.
Literally
But
everybody.
us. They literally had about 60 to 80 people who pre-boarded the aircraft before the A1 through A15 individuals got on the aircraft first. So we were really upset. Like, okay, I should have gotten a wheelchair, or I should have been media, because there were social media people who were given priority status to get on the aircraft before those who paid to get on the aircraft. So,
I'm sure some people trying to, quote unquote, beat the system.
yeah.
Weird way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there was definitely okay, mom, your son definitely looks 14 and does not look like they have an issue.
Right.
Obviously, I don't know, but the boarding process, even Jeb Brooks brought it up that because he also took a Southwest flight that day. He took the Dallas to Indianapolis, I think it was. He talked about how that boarding process was also very long for them too.
So at least you found out that Southwest in general had a pre-board issue that day.
Correct.
Right? And it wasn't just it's not like you just got screwed yourself. Turns out
Right.
they kind of had a system-wide issue with their Eclipse flights.
Yeah, specifically the Eclipse flights, So
Any other,
Wonder why that
any
is.
other day, St. Louis to Austin would have had 3 pre-boards.
Yes.
But today, on that specific day, you've got 82?
yeah,
Right.
it was
I don't think that's a coincidence.
it was absurd.
It's like I skinned my knee once when I was 4 years old. I'm disabled. I need a pre-board.
Like,
Right. I've got a headache. I'm currently disabled.
yeah, I couldn't believe it, and all of us who had paid, we were really upset, and we were disgusted.
Yeah, especially if you're not expecting that. That would be kind of infuriating.
yeah,
It would have been even worse had you not gotten a window seat.
I expect wheelchair people to go on. I expect people
Yes.
who have
Of course.
disabilities to go on. Obviously, right? Not everybody had a disability. That's for sure.
Right, of course. Yeah, I mean, you always want to win. I mean, of course, this always goes back to, previous pods and whatever. We obviously want a window seat. But in this case, this is literally going to make or break the flight.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
reason you are there.
Yes.
The
Oh my goodness. So
Anyway, yeah. Good going.
So they start off with the fanfare, playing Star Wars and playing oh, that's right, they did play Total Eclipse of My Heart.
Of
So
course
kinda
they
made
did.
sense,
Michael
right?
Scott version, totally Eclipse of the Fart.
That would have been great.
Yes. Oh, yes.
We all love The Office on this podcast.
Yeah,
so
we
they
do.
they had a fanfare.
Yeah, they had some fanfare and they had some goodie bags. So they handed everybody. They actually did not hand everybody a.
Were these on the seat, or did you get these on the way into the plane?
So I got these on the plane, but I only got them because they were located right there at the door. So you had to know to get one. They didn't hand them out.
These are cool glasses, though.
Yes.
They've got the whole
They are.
Eclipse on the side.
I
And
got the Eclipse on the side here, so I'm just trying to show everybody here.
I'll model them again. Hold
There you
on.
go. And they have little moon or little. I'm sorry, it's the Southwest tail.
Yeah.
So it's really, really unique. Sunglasses. There you go. Justin is showing it on the podcast so you can see it. They also gave everybody a cookie. And in the podcast, you'll see it right here. And so it says Southwest, April 8th, 2024, total eclipse of the sun.
One of those souvenirs that's not going to stand the test of time, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Probably not.
No,
we could
it's-
try and
it's
see
gonna
what
be gone.
happens, but
I did get, they were also handing out extra napkins, drink napkins. They have
Are those used?
specifically, no, they are not used.
important questions.
Yeah, this is so hard to show the camera. Anyways, they just had,
We'll post a picture on the Instagram later. You'll show
there
them.
we go. So they had, they called it the Solarbration. And it even said like, place your drink here to create your own eclipse. So
That's so cute.
They did
Typical
some.
Southwest.
They did some. They did. Of course, there's
It's like everything they do is 100. Everything they do is 100.
They're so cute. Anything they do is cute. I mean, let's be honest.
Duh.
They did have moon pies.
Sounds disgusting.
They also had
Right.
sun chips.
Star chips, solar eclipse chips. What?
Sun chips. Moon.
I saw on like
Delta
shout out
had-
Delta. They had like literal Eclipse
Yes.
brand sun chips.
Oh my
That was
goodness!
sweet.
Yes,
That was
I've never
crazy.
been more jealous of a bag of sun chips in
Right?
my life.
Right.
Like,
I would have not even eaten it. I'd be like,
no
that's-
way, you do not eat those. No way.
Oh,
Yeah, Southwest really did it, or Delta did a really good job.
Southwest did a good job, but unfortunately, once you see what Delta did,
They upped the game.
yeah, I mean, even
Shirts
Jeb,
and
even
everything.
shout out back to Jeb Brooks. He even mentioned I couldn't even get on those flights, and Jeb Brooks gets on any flight.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried to get on the Salt Lake City one.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, even there's higher up people like that have literal jobs in this industry that couldn't get on those Delta flights.
Yes.
right.
Oh my goodness! It was like,
so who did get on those flights?
No one. It was just an empty flight.
yeah.
I mean, what kind of people got on? You know, like that's crazy.
Well, those who had a minimum of $1,200, which I was willing to book it to do it because Delta A220.
That's where I'm out. It would have been cool, but I'm out on that.
Yeah, that is way too much for
The
me.
Eclipse is cool from the ground too.
Exactly.
They also, so Southwest, back to the Southwest flight, they also had I got mooned total solar eclipse. It even had WN 1910.
It's great because that's
St. Louis to
very
Houston.
flight specific. It's got the flight number and
Yeah.
the date.
Yeah, that's why it's so cool.
That's my favorite part of the merch that you got is the button.
Yeah.
I wish that was more of I wish that was a sticker too.
That would have been cool.
Or the coin like we got on the Sun.
I'm not a
Country
big
inaugural.
I'm not a big button guy, but that's my favorite piece that you got because
Yeah.
it's very flight specific.
Exactly. It's pretty cool.
Shout out to that Sun Country challenge coin.
Yes.
So for the flight, anyways, I did get a window seat, thankfully, but
You only punched 2 people in the face.
like literally, I think probably by A30, those people did not have window seats, and I just felt bad for those people. Like,
Was this I don't know if you know the answer. Was this a flight specifically for the Eclipse, or was this a flight that happened to be a daily service that happened to be within the Eclipse?
that is a good question. That is
I thought it was the second option.
Listen,
So-
journalism. Okay,
so it is a daily flight,
gotcha.
and it just happened to be. They were like, okay, we will mark it as a solar
Right,
eclipse
right.
flight, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Versus the
Why not?
Delta flight that was literally made for
Made
the
for
Eclipse.
it,
But this was a
correct.
daily flight happening no matter what.
Exactly.
So do you think there were people on there that were
Yes.
flying it no matter what?
Yes,
And
and they
I
just
would think
didn't
so,
know.
absolutely. Yeah.
I think that's what Jeb mentioned on his too. I think his was the same way, just wondering like who here just happens to be on this flight not knowing like when they booked. Or just they're just people happening to want to go to Austin.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And now they're they're headed to Houston Hobby because they wanted to.
That was good journalism
Get
right there.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you recognizing the question. Hashtag journalism.
Hashtag yes. So
Q&A session.
there we go. Regular. Yeah. So it's yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So we get on the aircraft. Sorry. I'm like, where are we getting at? All right. So Celebration. They gave everybody also in the bag. It had this. Put on your Eclipse glasses, prepare on board viewing experience, enjoy one free premium cosmic cocktail. All right, so they had different names for the drinks. So a Bloody Mary was actually called a Red Sky.
Oh, wow.
So a mimosa would have been a Stargazer, and then a screwdriver would have been a Sunflare. I took the Sunflare and enjoyed that drink, and then I asked for another drink, and they said sure, and didn't even ask for this card because we were supposed to hand this card to them, and then they're like, anybody else want more drinks? So I'm like, well, I guess you're gonna hand out another free drink.
So was it like a good vibe on the flight? Like was it noticeable that this was a non-normal flight?
Oh yeah, the vibe was good. They did a pre-flight picture with everybody having their glasses on.
Nice.
It was like everything was about like, hey, we are trying to get out of here on time. So like we're going to try to our best. Like we have like priority out of the airport to like, so everything was set up for like, this is a solar eclipse flight. This is exactly what it's made for.
So a different vibe on board, literally.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
I think
That's cool. That's awesome.
I think the flight attendants were just like, I'm doing my job. So they didn't like really get to see it as much as everybody else did.
Yeah.
But so we get out of St. Louis on time. Did that Southwest taxi. I tell you, it really was a Southwest taxi.
Of all time to do one.
It was maybe a little
typical.
bit. Oh,
Yeah.
and I meant to say that the Southwest employees outside, the ramp crew, actually had signs.
Oh, that's
You
right.
sent us a picture in our group text. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so they were like, "Hey, thank you for flying us, and hope you enjoy your solar eclipse flight." And like,
That's cool. Yeah.
it was really thoughtful of them. So we get out of St. Louis. I told you guys that I saw one of the New Pacific aircraft was parked there. Rest in peace, New Pacific.
Right.
Well, I guess they're now a charter. But
Yeah.
Anyways,
I told you, I think that's almost more rare than the Eclipse is spotting a new Pacific plane.
I know.
Honestly.
For those who don't know, we actually were trying to get on a New Pacific flight this
Yes.
year, so unfortunately I can't do that anymore. But yeah, so we get up in the air and we get going. Some of us did ask ahead of time, like, hey, are we going to be able to get, is everybody going to be able to see it from either side of the aircraft? And the answer was yes. So, Justin with the buttons here.
Giving myself a round of applause over here this whole time. But anyway,
So
legit
yeah,
question though, a legit question.
because I wanted to know what part of the aircraft to be on. I actually scouted it ahead of time. I looked at the flight path because Flighty, when you put your flight in, they will tell you the whole flight path ahead of time. So I looked at it. I'm sure there's other ways to check it.
For non-flighty people like myself, I just look at the history of the flight in the past.
And I did that as well through
Right.
Flight Aware. I looked ahead of time, but I wanted that guaranteed. Like, what is the
Right.
What is the plan? The flight plan. The flight plan obviously didn't show that we did a bunch of circling in the air. So what was really cool was to see all the aircraft that were in that in totality or in the area of the Eclipse, and you could see all the Delta flights were doing their 360s.
Oh my gosh.
And
There's a couple of Delta flights that literally circled. You guys did an S turn, I
Yes.
noticed.
Yeah.
we did a few S turns. There was one point where we did do a 360. But yeah, there was a lot of flights that were so cool. Shout out to the FAA that day too, and everybody working.
A lot of people behind the scenes that made that work.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness. Like all the aircraft that were just in that area, like so many aircraft. Very busy day for flying. But yeah, like, so we get up there and I showed you guys video. I posted on my Instagram. I showed like, that I did see like the Earth. One moment was completely dark.
Oh, the Earth.
And then, yes, the Earth was covered in shade and shadow. And then the aircraft, we did our one of our S turns, and then we came back down, and the sun was back up. So it was just that quick.
That had to have been cool because I know like a couple of videos I've seen online from people on some of these Eclipse flights, like literally seeing the shadow of the Earth like in real time move. Like that's got to be a wild feeling.
That would have been
Right.
cool. Now, there was that Air Canada flight that left from like Dallas or Houston that was going to Toronto and was in totality the
The whole time.
Yeah,
I
there's
saw
like one or two of
that.
those flights that, yeah, right, exactly.
That would have been so cool. But yeah, it was just such a great experience. Ended up, flight attendants were great. Social media was great. Everybody did a great job getting like the experience that we all wanted and paid for.
That you were
right?
there for, right?
Yeah.
Would I do it again? Sure. Absolutely. I would do it
Right,
maybe
yeah.
with Delta though, because they just did it better.
Or you in general, yeah.
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 But they even went so far as to when we got to Houston Hobby, everybody was clapping at us coming off the aircraft, which was
Like
a little bit
astronauts coming back from the moon.
Yes.
Right,
Back.
exactly.
Welcome back, gentlemen.
it was so interesting. And to the fact
Back
that
kissing babies, hugging wives.
they even had like they decorated the gate
For the in
in Houston.
sorry, I thought it was in Houston, right? In Houston, weird.
In Houston, they decorated the gate like we were coming.
Like versus like an inaugural, you would think all the fanfare would
Right.
be before,
Right.
not necessarily in Houston, because in Houston that'd be like the come down off the high.
It was so weird. Like, when I was like, okay, cool. Hey, hi guys. Hey.
Yeah, I was about to say this is giving some really big Sun Country inaugural vibes.
The clapping coming off is kind of hilarious to me. Like you just finished a mission from the moon.
I wouldn't know how to feel. Like, do I clap for myself too? Like, what do I do?
Salute him back.
Welcome back. Like, it was just weird. So, but yeah, no. Overall, Southwest did a great job putting together this. With Southwest vibes. It was total Southwest.
So
vibes.
here's a question for you. If you take all the fanfare out of it and you just have just the eclipse happens on the flight, would it still have been worth it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I guess just out of like obviously it all adds to it. You know, the emotion and all and fanfare and all of that jazz. If it was just the eclipse, was it worth it?
Definitely.
Cool.
And I would recommend.
Have you seen an eclipse before?
Oh, I mean, I remember I've seen an eclipse like when I was a young. Actually, no. But think about this. Back in the day,
because a lot of people have not, even though they've happened. Not every season.
Right.
I've only seen it through like the paper, like back in like when I was in elementary school back in the 90s, early 90s.
Wow.
Dating myself there.
Hashtag dad.
I remember.
Right.
I remember us like actually putting a hole through the
box and the paper. Yes. Randall literally did that on that day. Like people still do that.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Oh,
Randall literally did that. He said, "Yeah."
I love it. Like, but now we have like glasses, so we can like stare at the sun. Like,
You know what's funny is like
Wild.
sidebar, and they supposedly there's like a weird uptick on Google of people searching why do my eyes hurt
I saw
after
that.
the eclipse. I think
like-
that is hilarious. That is too good.
Like, there's no way that's real. Like,
Why do my eyes hurt?
yeah.
I wonder why.
What it's not okay to look at? Oh shoot!
Right. What did you do yesterday?
I mean, I'll admit, like I remember I specifically went on my daily walk during that time period. Although in Omaha we didn't get totality, it got dim here.
Yeah.
It was a little disappointing because here in Omaha specifically, like once it hit as the max for us, like I just wanted it to get darker. Like it made me crave totality, but it was still
Right.
kind of cool here. It was like I kind of compare it to like it looked like filmmaker mode on TV. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is that you think that's a good way to describe it?
yeah.
It was almost like hazy a little bit. Or like my dad said, it's like the sun went from 100 watts to 40 watts.
Right.
That's a
That
good
was the only way I
Yeah.
could think of is like it's like put the world on filmmaker mode for a moment. That's kind of how I thought of it. But we only had 80% here. I thought it was going to get darker. How about you, Paige? How did
I thought it was going to get darker too. And I was a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, I was like, this is noticeable, but like taking a picture of it with your phone because the phone tunes things out so well and just corrects everything to make it perfect. You can't even tell when it's a picture on your phone. So that's what sucks.
Yeah, I didn't have any funky glasses. It was hard not to just go, I want to look at it. I want to look at it so bad.
I had the glasses and I tried to take pictures with my phone, but it was potato. So
All right.
The potato quality.
yes.
Yeah. So my half brother, he actually flew Spirit from Orlando out to
On the eclipse day?
out to Dallas the day before.
Okay.
So he was one of the ones that went out to Dallas, which was completely covered.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it like ended up like he was able to see it. So, but like through the clouds, and even through the clouds, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Since this is an aviation podcast, obviously, Founders Plaza was completely slammed packed.
Well, and
By
there
the
was
way, I checked out Founders Plaza that following day.
That was the first time there, right?
That was my first time there, and I only did it for like an hour, but
it's a bucket list item.
It's
for
better
me.
than nothing.
totally going back. So, Paige, what were you trying to say?
There was a live streamer, one of the airport live streamers at DFW had that stream going for the
And
eclipse.
there was also a guy, he shout out Runway DFW. That's one of the Dallas Fort Worth spotters.
Yep.
Or not spotters, but live streamers. He was at Dallas Love Field. Not Founders, but yeah.
Oh yeah, there was one of both.
And at the Dallas Aviation Museum, which is right out there near Love Field, they actually you had to have a ticket to go to that museum and because they had all this special stuff going on that day. And I was
I'm sure.
Like cities like Dallas, where my brother's family's at, I mean, like, they were declaring like states of emergencies like the day before.
yeah.
Because of the
I remembered that.
Because of the influx of people. They
correct.
Were
It was the
like,
influx of people, and then like the people leaving. It was just atrocious.
It's just
amount of
that's the
people.
only thing that because I mean, what you did was super unique. I think the Eclipse is a little overrated, but in your case, I would have done that. But if it wasn't for the flights, like I do personally think the Eclipse is a little overrated. I get there's some science people out there. People think we're weird for liking planes. I get there's people out there.
Exactly,
in the
right.
same way. I'm not going to judge. Well, I'm going to real quick, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Are weird, but anyway, I think it's a little overrated unless I had been on a flight. Because to me, my day was no different.
Yeah.
No different at all. Here in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, unless you're impacted by it, it's just like meh. You know?
I was wondering what Henry was going through. The official loaf of the podcast, Henry. I asked my mom, did he observe Henry? Because they always say like crickets come out for that time in totality. Like, apparently Loaf just acted the same. So nothing to report there. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
All corgis remained active.
Good. They're still.
They remain their normal activity for that time of day.
Yeah, Henry, the official corgi of the X-Zero.
Yeah.
The mascot.
Yeah, let's just call it that, actually.
Yeah,
exactly. Not the official corgi. Official mascot.
Official mascot? Okay, let's make it happen.
Heck yeah.
All right. Do you guys ever have any more questions for me before we go ahead and...
I may have some later on, but as of right now, I am good, sir. You are free to go. You are free to go.
We are free to go. Okay, we will be right back.
All right. Welcome back to the Exit Row, an aviation podcast. Adama, you still with us?
I'm here.
Paige, you still with us?
I'm here.
That's most important because you are going to now storytell. You took a trip on your birthday.
I did.
Not to the moon, but you did go
Close.
kind of close, I guess. Denver, right?
To Denver on my favorite airline.
Paige's happy
To
place
my favorite
on her airline.
To my favorite airport.
Right. And you did come back because you are sitting in front of us. You did come back, which I
Yes.
did wonder.
You wondered.
I mean, you're in Denver. When one is in their happy
Oh,
place, they always
gotcha.
contemplate not coming back, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
But anyway, talk about it.
So it was my birthday, and it was actually Aileron's third birthday on the 19th. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see in the video, she has her little birthday hat on. So that was a 3-year anniversary of me getting her. So me and her went together, and I'm going to start this off with a fun fact. Not really fun.
Oh,
but
sweet.
Interesting fact.
Just a fact.
So the plane I flew out of Omaha was involved in a crash.
Oh.
20
On the way out? Oh, gotcha.
Way back, 2015. Yes, exactly. N561WN, my aircraft, went off the runway into a ditch. Front landing gear collapsed. Engine damage, cosmetic damage, obviously, in Orlando, which is actually where it was coming from on its way into.
Oh, we just...
Speaking of was that not weird?
That's weird.
That was odd.
What did
Okay, so for those of you not watching on video, Paige is literally describing a plane crash.
Yes.
And as she's talking, the mic has a crash. Mic falls off.
Yes.
That was weird, dude. Maybe you should stop talking about the fun fact.
That's going to be on social media for sure.
Well, I mean, it's literally recorded, yeah.
I don't like that.
I say we move on, like skip talking about the crash, move on. Clearly.
Well, unfortunately, we've already brought this into the
No, I
household.
mean, like, don't continue that. That was weird. That was really weird.
That was really weird.
I don't like it.
You know what?
To be honest.
Drop it, Bob.
No.
I'm not a big fan of what just happened, but continue.
So the takeoff was super turbulent, super windy day, like 37-mile-an-hour crosswinds, right?
70-mile crosswind. Wow.
37.
Oh, 37.
So I get on the plane, and the wind was blowing so strong you can see the people swaying in their seats as I was walking down the aisle. I was like, oh
Wait,
boy.
what? You could see people
Wait,
swaying.
I'm confused.
The wind
windows
was
open?
No, the wind was blowing the plane so hard you could see people swaying in their seats.
Ah, that's pretty windy.
Yeah. And so as we were on the takeoff roll, I could feel the pilots doing a bunch of corrections as we were rolling. And
Because you're a flight sim pro. You know the
Yes.
corrections. You know the corrections, right?
yes, I could just feel it going back and forth a lot.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. So we had a conversation right before this about flight sim. I have a brand new computer and I'm flight simming. A380 just came out on flight sim and
Move it along.
Paige made some comments, and so that's why we were getting back. It's kind of funny. Go ahead, Paige.
If you
I'm
know,
such
if you
a
know the
pro.
podcast, we poke at each other.
Yeah,
and
we
I
do.
shouldn't need explanation. But anyway, you're
Yeah.
obviously a pilot.
You're a pilot. Let's go.
Yes, thank you for that recognition finally.
No problem.
So we get in the air, and by far my worst departure. It literally felt like it was just up, down, like a roller coaster, just going up and down, very just one after the other. And I was not feeling good. It was as close as I've ever come to being sick on a plane, I think. And we hit a pretty good bump, and it may have been like wind or wake turbulence. I'm not a professional on that, I'll admit it. But basically the wing dipped down, and we hit a bump, and it dipped, and I hit my head actually on the side. wall of the plane.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Like, why do you always have such a wild
I
story?
don't
Like,
know.
I don't assume. I'm going to assume it's not exaggerated, but like you.
No, and
your
I was
head
gonna get
hit
to that.
Your head hit the side.
Yes, it was not exaggerated. I didn't have a headache or bleeding or anything, but the fact that my head collided with the wall, even in the slightest.
Did anyone else's heads hit the? Or just yours?
I don't know. But people were talking. People were like, "Oh my gosh!"
People were talking.
People were talking.
People were talking about you hitting your head against.
No, they were talking about
That
the turkey.
poor
Thank
girl back
God.
there.
Oh my God, it's all over the place.
So you hit your head and you just woke up in Denver. What happened?
Yeah, did you have a coma?
Someone had to carry me out on a
Concussion?
wheelchair, and I got pre-board back. So
That would be the best.
You got the pre-board though.
Exactly.
There you go.
exactly. But no, it was more embarrassing than anything because I was looking around. I'm like, I hope nobody saw that. Like,
Well, if they didn't, you just told it on a podcast, so
Yeah.
that works too.
I'm fine telling it now, but in the moment, I was just kind of like, ooh, yeah, that just happened.
Smooth.
Actually, yes, the rest of the flight was very smooth.
Nice. Well played.
Yeah. The landing was turbulent a little bit. Nothing like my departure, but I get there, and of course, anytime I go to Denver, I have to have my Jamba Juice.
And the mac and cheese.
Yes, that was
Jamba
essential.
juice and a mac and
I
cheese.
think I've got in our history of text, at least 3 or 4 pictures of just Jamba Juice and mac and cheese.
Yes, I've done that at least once or twice.
Yeah.
Like I just said, 3 or 4. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You do love Denver.
Yeah. Well, and I just discovered the mac and cheese coming back from Boise, the place that sells the mac and cheese, because I was like, I want a full meal. But so I got that. I was like, that's great. And then I found a new favorite flavor of Jamba Juice smoothie. So
Please tell.
Yes.
I don't remember the name because it's weird, but it's like Razzle Dazzle
What?
Berry or something like that. Or Razzle Dazzleicious.
So much for your new favorite flavor.
Well, I'll know it when I see it up on the board, but
He's my new best friend. No idea where he's from. Don't know his name. But
my new bestie. Oh, man, but it was good.
okay. Shout out Jamba Juice.
Yeah. Okay. So your mac and cheese though. Let's talk about this mac and cheese.
I mean, it was good as usual. You
Is
probably
Is it like a smoked mac and cheese?
Is it
just
from Jamba Juice?
Is it a
Is the
craft?
mac and cheese from Jamba
No.
Juice? Where's it from? No, honest question.
Oh, no.
Where's it
It's
from?
not from.
Oh, I
Jamba
thought you were
Juice.
totally joking around. No,
I mean,
it's
kind of. I'm asking a question right now. Journalism.
This is inside airport. We want to know.
Yeah, no, it's at
Since you always get them together, I just wondered if they have weird side items. I don't know.
this is from an Italian restaurant. I know, Adama, you're going to
Fazoli's?
correct that.
Fazoli's?
No, it has an Italian name.
Liz.
I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but
You're-
No worries. We don't need
so
to
she's
know.
got her favorite
Yeah.
Jamba Juice, don't know the name. Where do you get the mac and cheese? Not sure.
I just
I'm
know
bad
where.
at remembering
But you
names,
get it every
okay?
time. But you get it every. That's hilarious. That's even better that you have no idea where you get these things.
Are they?
But I know where they
Are they
are.
right near each other? Or
Not
two
right
different
near-
terminals?
Oh no, they're in the same terminal. It's about like a 2-minute walk from one to the other. So
Okay.
No idea where the mac and cheese is from. That's
You know what? It's
part. That's the
it's,
best
it's
part.
probably like macaroni and cheese with macaroni grill.
Yeah, something super right. So anyway, let's move this along.
So I finished my lunch and I went plane spotting, which was why I went there. The
Great.
outdoor
So you-
decks.
So you went plane spotting for your birthday.
Exactly.
I love
Where
it.
you were meant to be, right?
Exactly.
You always do on your birthday.
Yeah, and so this was actually my first time flying on my birthday. The last 2 years I've been plane spotting on my birthday, which Justin, that's where we met, was my birthday 2 years
Shout
ago,
out me
spotting.
for sure.
Yep.
Right up. Relationship
And-
blossomed immediately. Right. Really did.
Exactly. And here
Hey,
we
look at
are.
us now.
So yeah, I spotted. My baby gonna get emotional. Maryland 1 came and saw me on my birthday.
Wait, so real quick sidebar. Unfortunately, is the Maryland one not being? Is it,
Yes.
Is it true that it's not being repainted? Is that actually? No,
No, it's
It's a sore subject. I get it, but is it not actually being repainted?
So yes, it is being repainted onto an 800, but
I thought it wasn't.
that airframe is getting scrapped. From what
So
I
Maryland one is continuing.
Yes.
That's the vibe I got from that article. Is that Maryland one wasn't being repainted?
No, yeah, it's kind of conflicting, but in the first part it did say that they will be back on 800. So Maryland 1, Arizona
But that actual
1.
airframe will be retired.
Per that article, but it's only 18 years old, so
Yeah. I mean, there's always buyers out there, but you never know. It's
Exactly.
probably planned to be retired, but it could be leased. You never know.
yes.
So Maryland
but
one is coming back.
It will be, but that airframe N214WN, very first special I spotted in 2021, and so it's been my baby ever since. I go see it anytime it comes to Omaha. I've gone and seen it, so it visited me.
It
in
is a
Denver.
very cool thing that you were able to see that on your birthday in Denver.
I know.
In Denver. So you were out on those spotting decks, correct?
Yes, and now when you go out there, there's a glass pane around it, but truthfully, you can't even tell. To be honest, in my pictures, I can't even tell it was taken through glass.
There weren't glass panes there before? Because I've only been out there a couple of times, and they've always had the glass. Or is there not glass there before?
Oh, there always has been glass, but you can't even tell there's glass in the pictures.
Oh, you're just saying, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like there's no glares or anything. Like, if I remember correctly, they're a little bit angled, which might be for plane spotters' benefit. So, I saw my Maryland 1. I saw Frontier America's Greenest Livery special. I saw the Lufthansa A350.
You saw Denver Air Connections, I'm sure, because you were right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tons of Denver Air Connections. Mesa House Colors, I believe CRJ 900.
Boring. Who cares?
I mean, and then SkyWest Charter CRJ 200, which I know you're going to say the same thing.
Boring.
Yeah, exactly. But
SWC.
but all specials I ended up seeing. So my flight back was on a brand new baby Max 8.
How old was it?
Baby plane.
Was it like under a year?
Yes.
Nice.
Yep. So, fun fact, but also kind of not fun for me at the time. I was set to fly out on the Heart 2 special livery out of Denver.
It's not a special, it's just a sticker, but continue.
That's where we disagree because
Yeah.
I still consider stickers to be specials.
I think that's episode 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But so he's over here shaking his head at me, and I'm completely disagreeing.
I feel like this should be a Paige's poll.
This is also Jet Tip also brings those in on there, so it's if it's Jet Tip worthy to be on there, it's a special in my opinion. So, I'm just saying.
Move it along.
But that aircraft was actually recently repainted, so no more Heart 2, no more Heart 1.
So now there's no
stickers.
discussion at all. It's literally not special.
Wait, so it was repainted, or did
Yeah.
they just remove the sticker?
Well, it probably got a fresh coat of paint, but then when they did that, they removed the sticker.
Because to clarify, I'm not poking fun at it in all honesty, but so on the front it said Heart 2, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
TWO.
Yeah. Which was kind of ironic because I had sent, Southwest that email saying, "Hey, can you send me a special livery on my birthday?"
That's right, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, and then sending me a repainted special. Okay.
That'd be funny
But-
if they had said no. I mean, probably, and it was probably true, but yet it weirdly did work out. That would have been crazy, actually.
Right?
That would've
Right?
been-
Oh, you really did send a mule one. Oh, wow.
I mean,
Oh
in
my
all honesty,
gosh.
like for the sake of Paige's sanity, it's probably the best that a special didn't happen on her birthday. Like she already hit her head on the plane.
I would have had to get wheelchaired back into Omaha. Like
Hit her head on the way onto the plane, man.
I maybe wouldn't have made it onto the plane, to be honest. I would have just dropped down past
do
that.
the-
Yeah. But yeah, so that was N8645A was original Heart 2. And I was the first one on the plane because I upgraded
The
to
first one.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was. Yes, and it felt so awesome to be able to do that because originally it registered me because Denver's an hour behind, and so I had to check into both flights separately since I paid for them both separately, and it registered me as an hour ahead, so it put me at like the end of the C boarding, and I was like, I'm not gonna get a middle seat on my birthday, no. So
Oh, wow. Drama.
I mean, I'm just like,
I don't blame you, though.
yeah. So I upgraded, and I actually heard the pilots testing the call-outs. So the terrain, pull up, and they were going through and testing them all. And like just being able to hear those in real life was super cool. I tried to get a video of it, but I only got one because then they stopped. No.
Just like flight sim.
Just.
Oh, you guys, I can't say anything around you two. I cannot.
Train. Page's head. Boom. Page's head.
Oh my God.
I will say, though, that it is so cool when you can hear like what's happening in the cockpit.
I
One
know.
of my favorite sounds, and I think it was somebody I talked to recently just literally said, like, I love when I can hear the pilots disconnect the autopilot right before they land. I love that sound. That like you're like,
Right.
that's right. My pilot is.
Yeah.
They are in command of this aircraft. They're gonna man
We got a
this
PIC, baby.
this is happening. There we go. I love that. Is such a great sound. Like you can definitely hear it on the CRJs. Like you really, it's like, oh, I love it.
Yeah. Smoke compact blends.
Sorry for the sidebar.
You're good.
There you go. All right, Paige, back to you.
How rude. Continue.
Yeah, how dare you? So another fun fact, there was a touring band on my flight.
Did we figure out who this was by chance?
No, because so I was in the second row because I never like sitting in the front row, at least on Southwest, because they don't have tables that fold out from the armrest because it's Southwest. They don't have that, unfortunately. So I sat in the second row, and they boarded right behind me. And they brought all their instruments on, and the flight attendants kept asking them who they were, and they would not say.
They wouldn't say?
No.
How would they answer the question?
They just diverted it in a couple different ways. But they
What? That's weird.
they were avoiding it. And so I'm like, these guys can't be so high profile. You know,
Or profile at all. It doesn't matter if it's...
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I was going to ask, but I was like, nah, because they're dodging the question. They obviously don't want to be known. They maybe just don't want the publicity or, you know.
Well, they should tour by bus and not by Southwest if they don't want to be
Yeah,
Well,
and
yeah.
don't bring your instruments on the aircraft. Like,
If you don't want to be known, take a bus, my man, not fly Southwest
Yeah.
in a commercial airport.
And it could have been an emergency situation or a last minute thing they had to do, but
did they look like they were like a rock band?
Yes.
Pop band? Okay,
it was like they were probably in their late 50s, early 60s, long hair, long beards, like had like the leather vests and like they looked.
Bet they're a cover band.
Yeah, I was about to say they're a cover band.
And that's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
That's a cover band for sure.
They're the Benny and the Jets. That's who they are. Like,
right. Yeah. So
Playing the local watering hole. Right?
yeah. So yeah, but there were people taking selfies with them. So I was like, I don't know if they just happened to know who they were, because this was a flight back to Omaha and they were doing a show there. So it may have been people who knew about the show.
It was 311.
We should have just looked up shows in that area. Yeah.
I
Figured it out.
tried to,
Or
and
Google
I couldn't
Lens.
figure it
You
out.
could Google Lens them, their photos.
Yeah, just yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you
I
really
mean-
could have.
I mean,
Anyway,
yeah,
let's
that's
move
true.
off this middle-aged cover band.
Yeah. Back to your flight.
But yeah, as opposed to my flight out of Omaha, my flight back to Omaha was very smooth. Had I closed my eyes during takeoff, I wouldn't have even known we were in the air. Very smooth. Whole flight was very smooth. My flight attendant was spicy, and I have had extraordinarily bad luck with spicy flight attendants with Southwest my last two flights.
You're not talking about nationality. You're talking about ego.
What kind of stuff?
More so their attitude. So this
Spicy.
Yes. So this lady kind of just looked like she was over the day.
And on comes a 50-year-old cover band. Great.
Yeah.
Benny in the
Well, and she's the one who asked, and they just were like, no. But she was older, and she was let's put it this way: her humor was very dry. She could not really tell if she was joking or not, even though it like felt like she was joking, and like some people laughed, some didn't.
Oh, so she's like from the Midwest. Got it. Okay.
Could
Yeah,
be.
I mean, yeah.
But so she had a couple funny things she said that I noted down on the flight.
You took notes of what she said. Love this.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's only two things. She said quite a few things, but
Paige is just dictating while she's talking. Paige.
I was because I knew I was going to forget.
Spicy.
And I forgot all the other ones aside for these two. But she was like, she came over before we departed. She was like, I got a really good tip today. If a drink isn't on the menu, we don't have it. Don't be ordering something like guava juice. And she said it like that too. So I was like, oh. And then she was like, you know, as the oxygen mask demonstration's going and they're saying, you know, before you put your own mask on, if you have children, put their mask on first. She was like, and if you're traveling with kids, why?
well
I was like,
well said.
Yes.
I was like, oh.
Go to the back of the aircraft. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. You know, I do appreciate flight attendants that have a sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so do I. Yeah.
You're traveling with kids. Why?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
said.
She was really funny. Yeah. But yeah,
Excuse me, Miss Spice.
Yeah, Miss Spice, exactly. And she was just she was like, this is a very short flight. There's 4 of us and 175 of you. So if you're getting an alcoholic drink, have that payment ready. Have this ready.
Nice.
Or else we are going to skip over you. And I was like, yes, ma'am.
She's the authority.
Yeah, I was intimidated. I was like, ooh, I better get everything ready.
I'd rather have someone like that than someone who like doesn't care, I think. You know what
Exactly,
I mean? Right?
yeah. Yeah, because they wanted to get us all serviced during the flight. They wanted to make sure everybody got what they want. So yeah, I ordered my birthday drink. I ordered the IPA on the
That's your birthday drink is an IPA.
Yes.
Isn't that your drink regardless? Or is that just, gotcha, okay.
Yeah, so I ordered that and super smooth flight back to Omaha, and that was about it. So
We're back. A birthday well spent, right?
it really was, yes.
You know what's funny is I think people like us are someone who'd rather spend the day flying than spend it with like a group of people. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
I think so too. Like
There's people who are like, I would love to have 30 people over. I'm like, you know what? I'd rather take a couple flights by myself. Honestly.
exactly. Like
And especially given like the age I am now, like maybe there's definitely one point where I'd rather have a party, but now I think I'd rather jet off for the day.
yeah, exactly. And some people would. I just can't comprehend sometimes how people would say like flying and being in airports is just the worst time spent because it's the
Some people
opposite,
are
right?
absolutely mind boggled at av geeks.
Exactly.
Absolutely. The fact that you like doing this, right?
Yeah.
You chose to do something on your birthday that some people hate to do, like
And
even on a
genuinely
vacation.
enjoying it.
right, right. You can hit your head on your plane and boom, still into it.
Yeah.
Like,
Still flying? Yes.
came to right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good time
Absolutely.
overall. 10
yeah.
of 10.
10 out
10
of 10.
of 10.
All right. So where are you going next year?
Oof.
Denver.
I mean, that's a year. Wait, it might
Denver.
be.
Denver.
I mean, I
Why
gotta
not?
keep.
It can be a birthday tradition. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, my tradition overall is spotting on my birthday.
Right.
So
There's nothing wrong
at
with
least
that.
to
I mean,
keep that. And next year, my birthday is gonna be on a Friday. So
ooh, nice long
There
weekend.
we go.
the exit road trip for my birthday. Let's do it.
It's no different than when we like go out to LAX. Like Denver's your spot. Like it is what it is.
Yeah. Denver and LAX are a pretty close tie for me. So
Denlax.
10 lakhs. That sounds like a medication.
You're talking about X-Lax. Yeah.
yes.
Yep. All right.
Let's break.
Let's go ahead
Use
and
the
take that break.
facilities.
So
facility.
we will be right back.
All right, guys. Welcome back. Well, Justin, you have a little bit of a segment to share, something a little new.
So every time Paige's Pulse comes on, I'm like, I want that. I want part of that.
I'm glad they're so admirable.
That sounded weird, but anyway,
You want your own
segment-wise,
segment.
Yes.
I get FOMO. I'm like, where's my segment at? You know what I mean?
yeah.
So brainstorming lately, the exit row, always growing, always getting better, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to try to introduce a sports segment with a tie-in of aviation, being that this is the Exit Row, an aviation podcast. It only makes sense that these are my two favorite things. Let's bring them together. They're both outside the door. Why not bring us together? Anyway,
I will have an intro for you in the near future. Next
do.
episode.
Oh, okay.
please do.
You are the creator of intros that way.
The singing of Paige's Polls, correct?
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
The next one.
So
I'll-
this isn't going to be anything long. I mean, very, very quick. It's just going to be more of a quirky story or something unique that I found. It's hopefully a little bit of an underground story, or something that needs to be brought up. One of the two. But anyway, so jumping right in, let's go ahead and get this started. So there was let me pull up my information. I've got notes. Paige has notes.
got
I've got notes.
We got notes up in here.
'Cause we're professionals and we're journalism.
We are. Exactly.
So let's see. So the Colorado Rockies, obviously they're Major League Baseball. They fly charters. Now there was, I guess it's actually been recently deleted, which is not shocking. But for those of you that don't know, they were taking a charter flight after a game recently, and we're at cruising altitude. So setting the scene, we're cruising altitude, and I don't know why the captain left the cabin to be exact, but anyway, only the right-hand man is currently in the cockpit, and there's 3 other people in the cockpit that should probably not be in there because just to lay the groundwork, it's federal law to not be in the cockpit, like at any point in the flight.
Which makes total sense.
Unless you're a little kid taking a picture maybe before or after the plane is on the ground.
When it's on the ground, exactly.
Right. And I know charters are a weird, I know there's different rules in the sky, like maybe within the cabin. But
Yeah.
the cockpit is the cockpit. Like that's still federal law anyway. But so the FAA has got a federal investigation now into that flight because, like I said, there are 3 people that should not have been in there while it was cruising altitude. So the hitting coach for the Rockies was one of the guys sitting in the captain's seat while he was out. And we're talking at cruising altitude. Like, can you even imagine sitting in a pilot seat at cruising altitude? I think it's cool when it's on the ground.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a cruising, and he's acting like he's about to touch these buttons, and he's like leaning into the yoke, and it's kind of it's as the FAA states on record, they said it was very deeply disturbing what this video, because the way this video surfaced was Rocky's PR department basically put it out on Twitter, thinking like, hey, we'll get likes and hits on this, maybe not realizing that what we're doing is completely wrong.
Yeah, they're going to get a little bit more than likes.
Right.
Like,
and the Twitter sphere and the Twitterverse did what they do, meaning what's so wrong here. There's people that literally don't understand why this is wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and as we've
People
noticed,
don't understand aviation.
really don't, and clearly do not.
Yeah.
Clearly do not. But I mean, unfortunately, I would assume both these pilots are going to lose jobs because the hitting coach that happened to be sitting in the seat. If you do happen to find the video again, because I think it has been taken down as of recent, the hitting coach has definitely had a few drinks, if you know what I'm saying. And he's sitting essentially behind the wheel of a flying plane. I mean, Major League Baseball was some unexpected turbulence away from being down an organization. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Like, if you really want to lay it down how it is, that's how I see it. But anyway, I mean, I think it's kind of crazy. I'm sure everyone has thoughts on this, and I'm sure there are people that realize that what's so wrong? It's on cruise control. What's the big deal? The fact of the matter is you basically crossed a line from breaking a law. Like, it might, yes, everything did end up fine, and maybe nothing would have happened. But the fact of the matter is that's federal law. It's not like it's a misdemeanor. Like, we're breaking federal laws here, opening that door. Not to mention they're letting just anyone walk in. The video literally shows even more people. It was a scene straight out of Airplane.
What the heck?
It literally was. It was kind of incredible because you guys have both seen the video, correct?
Yeah.
It's actually pretty insane footage. And it was at night, so you can't. I mean, the video doesn't really do it justice, knowing that they're truly at cruising altitude, unless you really read those indicators there. But I mean, that's messed up stuff. It really is. I mean, like, I don't know. And of course, it happens to the Rockies, which are a dumpster fire of an organization at the moment. You know, they would be the ones that are flying, that are literally flying a plane.
Yeah.
Just remember, if you're going to do anything illegal, don't post it on social media.
Like, the cockpit was legitimately crowded. It was crowded. There was 4 people in there, 3 of which should not have been in there. Think about that. Like,
That is wild.
it really is.
There's so many points you can make on why this is wrong.
I don't think they're
Exactly.
flight attendants. No.
No.
No,
so.
yeah, for a fact, no, for a fact.
Yeah, they're not flight attendants, and they are not pilots. So,
No.
yeah.
He's a hitting coach, and people were, of course, you know, the Twitterverse doing their thing, saying he should be investigated for being the hitting coach because of the Rockies, you know, suck at hitting. You know? But anyway, so yeah, this weird sports story of the day for you. Just more something to, like, maybe get people talking and just try to tie in our two worlds here.
I like it.
So here we go. So yeah. Now, speaking of that, I'm just a beginner at this whole segment thing. Now we're going to transition to a very well-known segment that is the famous Paige's Polls.
Paige's polls. Paige's polls. Paige's polls.
But hey, great job on that, though, because that's really interesting. So,
Yeah.
Okay, stop. I'm going to ban you guys.
all right. So, hang on. If you're watching the video. Poll number 1 for
Numero uno.
To the best of your knowledge, have you ever flown an aircraft that has previously been involved in an accident/incident? Going back to my flight out of Omaha to Denver a couple weeks ago. And the choices were yes and no, and what was it? So yes, 30%, no, 70%.
Wow. I
That's
thought that was going to
interesting.
be 100% no, honestly. Like, to my knowledge,
Yeah.
no. To my knowledge, no.
So we had a couple interesting responses. So the Philly aviator flew on the plane, the Southwest plane, if you remember, went off the runway at Midway and went through the road or went over the road during an ice storm. Hold on.
I believe it.
He said a picture. It's small, but
Was he on the flight or
was
just
that
happened to be
one.
on that
Oh,
plane?
that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a pretty famous photo.
Gotcha.
yeah.
He wasn't on the flight. He was just on the plane later time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, and then my mom actually wrote in. She said no.
Oh, Paige's mom, what's up?
Paige's mom. Paige's mom.
Oh my gosh. So her username at palsmom1 said no, and nor do I ever want to know. So
Fair
it's
point.
valid.
That's fair point.
So fair.
Yeah, and I just found out mine by
Like,
coincidence.
I would not want to know the plane if I'm on it, the one where Paige hit her head on the way to Denver. I would not want to know what plane that is. Just kidding.
Well, you already do. So then A-list flyer Chris said N632SW Southwest 733 that had the roof peel open out of Phoenix back in 2011. He flew on it back in 2017.
Wow. So, and some of these planes like that one, I didn't know that plane was back in service. Like, I just don't know in general. So, like,
Yeah.
it's crazy that plane did end up getting back in service in general.
I know, right? So and then Tanner Spots Planes actually brought up a good point.
Tanner?
He's a local guy, right?
Yes,
Shout out Omaha.
local Omaha spotter. The EAA Ford Tri-Motor, it was lifted 20 feet into the air and the fuselage was ripped in half from a windstorm. And me, you, Adama, and Omar,
Pablo.
Pablo.
yeah, our friend, we actually flew that too. So that's another one.
It's kind of amazing that thing doesn't crash more often. I'll be completely honest. The thing's like
I
what,
know.
made of wood.
Dude, it's sometimes scary, man.
It was a little nerve-wracking, I'm going to be honest.
Doesn't it only get up 20 feet in general, period? Like, is that a crash?
I
or
like it. Oh, and
is that just
funny,
a normal flight?
'cause my friend Aaron, who listens to the podcast, he's looking at going to that B-29 in Lincoln, and he's like, I don't understand. Like, it's scary. These planes, they're still up here.
I know. Yeah.
I remember when you guys flew the Ford Tri-Motor, I was like, you know what, I'm good. I think I'm just going to watch it go by.
I hope.
Yeah, so Brian Weed stated someone didn't use crosswind correction and prop struck the runway. New prop and crankshaft.
Another local, Brian Weed.
Yep.
New crankshaft. Shout out.
Larrick Hederman, who is also on non-rev.
Shout out to Non-Rev.
Pods
Yeah.
supporting pods.
She voted no, and she's also a flight attendant.
Good.
Yeah. And then our final one for this that comes with some comedic value from Jet Set Shirts. I threw up in a Cessna 152 once, cleaned it upon landing, and flew it many times after that.
Nice.
So
I like it. I like it. I dig it.
that's valid. I'll accept it. Absolutely. So that's it for that poll.
So, Paige, we know that you talked about the Ford Tri-Motor, right?
Ford
And the
Tri-Motor.
Southwest one. Justin, do you know?
Do I know what?
Yeah, have you ever been on an aircraft that's...
Oh, to the best of my knowledge, no.
Yep.
To the best of my knowledge, no.
Had any damage
Exactly,
or anything
yeah.
to it? No. I know, again, the Ford Tri-Motor. I guess you could say, but it really isn't, but it took a tornado. Two of the E4Bs took a tornado, so it definitely was out of service for quite a
Yeah.
while. So I have that. I have
It
definitely
flew
been
into
on.
a tornado or a tornado hit the E4B?
The tornado hit the E4Bs
Gotcha.
because they did not move the E4Bs. So,
That sounds like a mistake.
yep, it was.
Put a little umbrella over it.
E4B1, Tornado 0.
Yeah. All right, next.
Next one. Favorite 747 variant?
Ooh, good
Oh.
Yeah.
question.
There's so many. Yes.
Yes.
Favorite variant is the question, right?
Yes. So Instagram only allows me 4 choices in a poll, so I did put other on there. But the 4 I put were 747 SP, 747-8, 747-400, and 747-200. 747-400 won at 48%. 747-8 and the 200 tied at 20%. And the poor little small SP was at 12%.
I thought the SP was going to win, to be quiet. It's not my favorite. I thought that was going to win, though.
Right.
It's just so unique.
That's what I mean. That's why I thought it'd
exactly.
win. Although mine's the 8. Like if I'm going passenger plane, mine's a 748 Intercontinental, obviously.
Yeah.
But cargo wise, I'm going to say like a 400 is maybe my
400.
favorite, yeah.
Yeah. I would have to say 800 because Diabaya is an 800.
Obviously.
Air Dash 8, I guess. So,
She's an Intercontinental, right? And
yeah.
an 8i. Yeah.
Yes. So,
What about cargo? You want to go real hardcore? Do you have a favorite cargo 747 variant?
see, I didn't think about that till now.
I will go, like I said, 400 because those technically tend to be real old birds.
Yes. Yeah.
God, you top of the 100, jeez.
I'm talking about ones I can actually see, though. I'm trying to find ones that I can still see. 100s,
Yeah.
you literally can't find them.
Nope.
So, a couple responses. Flying Smarter said, big fan of the 400, like many others, but the 747-300 also has a special place in my heart from childhood. So that's I understand.
I'm going to be flying a 400 soon.
Oh, that's right, you are. Yeah. Okay.
Out of JFK.
Walker_Nixon, the super tanker firefighting variant,
Ooh.
which I think is the red one, right? I think it's red.
Yeah,
Like it,
sure.
I'm just like picturing in my head like a white top and a red bottom.
It's probably something of that nature, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had 747 tankers or, like firefighter tankers.
Yeah.
I know of the, like the MD-11s and those and like the MD-80s. I didn't know there was a 747 though.
Yeah, there is. Are you looking it up?
I write firefighter tanker and it shows up fire trucks.
Oh, exactly.
Google's confused.
What about what do we got else for responses?
MBG _ aviation. The combi is pretty badass. So that would be, yeah, I agree. Lara Ketterman, again, from non-rev. How old am I if I say 747-100?
Oh,
Yikes.
I mean, it's a classic, though. You got to love those ones, honestly.
yes.
Where the 747 started from. So then our final one, which is going to resonate with you, Adama, quite a bit. Speedbird 5280, the E4B.
Out of Lincoln. What's
Yep.
up?
Yeah. So
Why is
does
that
it.
one so cool? I don't understand.
Yeah, what the heck is up with
Yeah,
that?
I know. And it's not
You know?
called the
That
Doomsday
was
Plane for a
lame.
reason. I
Lame.
don't know.
Lame sauce. Like, what the heck? Like,
That's probably the most overrated plane.
anybody who's been on that plane, like, it must suck, right? Like,
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't look cool. In
No.
all honesty, it doesn't actually.
I mean,
It doesn't. You've even said it. You've even said that. Yeah. It doesn't
you said
look
it's
cool.
beautiful on the outside, ugly on the inside.
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
I mean. That's what I
yes.
mean.
Yeah.
It is
I
like,
remember that line very specifically.
yes, it's like a few exes of mine. She's beautiful on the outside, but ugly on the inside. Yeah.
Shout out to the wife.
Shout out.
Oh, no.
No, we're not talking about her. No.
Meaning you found. Meaning you.
I was
found
gonna
the right
say-
one. Meaning you finally found the one.
Okay. I was going to say ex-wife maybe, but
Okay,
out to that
let's
ex-wife.
move on. No, let's go. All right. So, favorites, nobody brought up Sophia.
yeah, she's an SP.
R.I.P. though, right?
Well,
Yes.
she's
And actually, I saw her a year ago yesterday at Pima.
in
Tucson, yes.
Tucson.
I wouldn't say
Tucson.
she's my favorite, but yeah, she's a unique one. Kind of like the
Yeah.
SP. Like not my favorite, but unique. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I honestly thought
So-
the SP was going to win. I'm kind of blown away by that. I just figured people. would
I kinda
see
thought so,
SP and
too.
vote it.
Yeah. SP would have to be second for me, only because it's cute. So, and we had one come through Omaha too a couple of years ago.
Yeah, shout out Post Malone.
Yep.
Post Malone, Posty Boy.
Posty boy.
The way Paige says it.
Yeah.
All right. 747. Still love it. I still love that aircraft.
Yeah.
Always will.
Yep. Let's talk about. Hey, Paige, you brought something up recently about it's been 1 year of the invention
Yes.
of the exit row.
Since the idea was born.
Since
Yes.
the idea of the exit row was born, it has been 1 year now since we actually started to seriously sit down, figure it out. It's something we've talked about for a while, but to actually sit down, figure out the name, figure out the schedule, that
Or
was
just actually
very
talk
recent.
about this actually being a thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's technically about what, a year ago, a week or two ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And things spiraled out of control in a good way. In
and
a
here
good
we
way.
are.
Yes, they spiraled into control.
No, out of control.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
I guess.
All right, let's get
We're
it
out of control.
back into control. Okay.
Focus.
Come on, guys. Yeah. So, hey, we're almost there. I think we're almost coming up to
Almost
our
there to
1 year
what?
anniversary.
What are we looking at? Almost there where?
Almost there.
Just to the next.
We're almost
To the
at
next.
We're almost at
We're
cruising
just almost there.
altitude
Almost
for
there,
our
yeah.
1 year.
Always almost there.
Ooh,
There
yes.
you go. Hey, let's talk about our next travels. Justin, you don't have anything, unfortunately.
Thanks for bringing that up, bud.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Oof.
Hey,
Soon, though.
But hey, you two, what are you two doing?
hey. So,
What are you two roomies doing?
Yeah. Hey, so I had a companion pass. I had to use it, and I
Ooh,
love
a
soccer so
companion
much.
pass.
Oh, okay. Whatever. Anyways, so we're headed to Austin for the week, just for the day.
Redway?
It's literally not.
Yes.
But we have done Red Wave.
Well, we
one time.
have done that, yes.
Gonna go watch the LA Galaxy go play Austin. So we're literally gonna be on ground for like 5 hours in
That's
Austin.
a long time. The last time we were there, that's a long time.
Comparatively, yeah.
Yeah, and that was in Terminal 2 when we were there with Redway.
The south one,
Terminal.
yeah.
It's literally called the South
The
Terminal.
South Terminal. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's called the South Terminal.
Yep.
So yeah, we're gonna head out there and come back for the day. So just go watch some soccer.
Day trip.
That's what's up.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. After that, there's other trips in the future. So, other than that, I think it's time for us to handle the handle train.
Let's wrap it up.
Heck yeah.
Paige.
You can find me at Oma Spotter Page and my Travel Buddy Adventures with Aileron.
Justin.
At spotting.omaha. Yeah, it's a flurry of activity.
Question mark.
Yeah, I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah, there we go. And you can also follow me at Photography by Adama D on the Instagram. Please like, subscribe,
Or
and
follow
share
all of us.
at The Exo Pod.
You want to
Yeah.
stay tuned because I'm going to post a picture of mascot Loaf this week, so stay tuned for that.
Yes.
That's
And obviously,
You're gonna want to follow for this. Just saying.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, please like, subscribe, share to your friends and
pets.
your family and your pets, and we appreciate y'all. We will see you guys in a few weeks. For us three, safe travels. Bye.
Bye.
See you.